Good morning, everyone. Welcome to FreeDailyCoaching.com. Let me go ahead and turn on the chat as it clicked off. So let me say good morning and welcome to each of you that are here. I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your morning to jump over here to FreeDailyCoaching.com so that you can come and get some free tips on how to build your business. And today we're going to do a good morning to everyone. Good morning to Phil. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Craig and Tom. Kevin and Pauline. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning to you. Steve. Good morning to you. Clive. Good morning to you as well. If you're watching on the YouTube feed or the Google Plus, good morning to you as well. We can't see you over in the chat, so good morning and welcome to Free Daily Coaching, a place where you can come each and every day to grab tips, tricks, and methods that you can use in your business. Super exciting this week. We had a guest host on Tuesday. We're going to be having another guest host next week, and tomorrow is a Friday free-for-all. And tomorrow's Friday free-for-all is going to actually start right now today. So I want to ask you something. Maybe you're watching this on the Google Plus, maybe you're watching it on a YouTube, so maybe this is going to be a little bit later for you, but for all those that are watching right now live on Thursday, June 12th in the morning, I want to throw out a Friday free-for-all starting right now. I want you to participate in the Friday free-for-all. I want you to be able to make shout-outs and say, hey, come see me on this free-for-all. Hey, come see me on this webinar. Come see me on this panel. And I want you to be on the Friday free-for-all. So this is what I want to do. I want to throw out a content challenge this morning. And I want to see who's ready to do a Friday free-for-all. Now, I know that a bunch of you have been participating in a 100-day challenge, and I know a bunch of people have been taking massive action. And so for that, I want to say congratulations. It's been awesome. Now I want to see who wants to take it to the next level, who wants to step up and do a challenge. Who wants to come out onto the Friday free-for-all tomorrow? Go ahead and raise your hand. Not only raise your hand, but get ready because I'm going to give you some instructions what to do. How can you get on that Friday free-for-all? Well, I want you to go out and do a new piece of content. I want you to go out and write a blog post. I want you to go out and do a video. I want you to get some content done and make it today. Make it and post it today so that you can get some response, right? Get out there and share it. Go out and get that content created, and if you're already creating content, if you're already doing that, if that's something that you're already doing each and every day, then I want you to step it up a notch and create two pieces. Write two blog articles, make two videos. Be bolder than you were, right? This week's assignment was talking specifically about being 10 times bolder. So what can you do in your action steps? Awesome, awesome. I've got some hands getting raised. Awesome. I will definitely bring you out, the ones that have raised your hands. Absolutely. So part of that requirement is to go out and make some content today. Go out and post that content. Tag your friends. Hey, buddy, look what I did. Hey, look, I'm doing this. Hey, what do you think about this article? And take massive action. When we take these types of massive action, when we go that one step further, when you take it to that next level, that's what separates you from the rest of the pack. That's what makes you different than everyone else, is your willingness to take those actions, your willingness to step through fear, your willingness to keep that commitment, right? And I want to say this, don't be a quitter. Don't be a quitter. Do not do that. Don't quit. Keep moving forward, right? When you need help, reach out and ask for it. When you feel like you're struggling, you reach up and say, hey, I'm having a rough day. Hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I need some help in this area. Hey, I've been challenged over here. Is there a way that you can help me? That is a powerful tool. That's something that you can use, right? That you can use each day in your business to grow. And we've done a lot of mindset this week, and the main reason is because a lot of my phone calls have been centered around this. A lot of people have said, hey, I've gotten behind on this, or I'm not caught up on this, and what do I do here? And that's absolutely 100% okay. We all get behind sometimes. We all fall, we all trip. The important part is to stand back up. Right? That's the important part. The important part is to stand up and dust yourself off. The important part is to keep on moving forward. So, good morning, Judy. I just saw that you popped on. Good morning, Craig. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to you, Phil. So let me know that you can see and hear me over in the chat now that I ranted for 5 minutes. And I want to know that, yes, you can see me. Yes, you can hear me. And it looks like someone got knocked off. And while you're doing that, that'll allow me to know that everyone is here. So go ahead and let me know that you're all here and that you can see and hear me so that I can over in the chat. And we will continue with the call here on Free Daily Coaching. So it may be a big delay this morning. My internet has been really acting weird. I tried to use someone else's computer the other day and it was getting funky, so hopefully hopefully I'll be able to catch up here on the, oh my goodness. All right, good morning. Yes, you can hear and see. Good morning, good morning. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, so normally we do a guest host, and this morning's guest host fell ill and was unable to attend with us. So I'm going to close the hands down, and I'm going to bring someone else out this morning. So if you're able to come out onto the Free Daily Coaching call this morning, go ahead and raise your hand. I'm going to bring someone out. Now, tomorrow is going to be a Friday free-for-all, but I'm going to bring someone out today and do a mini interview and ask a few questions so that you can see someone else that's in the trenches, someone else that's building their business right now, and see what challenges they're having, see what successes they're having in addition to that, so that you can see how you can build your business, how what you're doing really has nothing to do with what these other people are doing. With what you're doing is not comparable to other people, right? You're comparing yourself, and what you're doing is like comparing, like, you know, apples and 2x4s. It's like not even the same thing. It's totally different things. So I want to be able to, awesome. I want to be able to show you guys that, in fact, there are many different ways to be able to have success building a home-based business. It's like we're all in a stairway, and we start at the first stair, and we have to climb up that stairway, and as we climb the stairway, right, as we gain experience, we're able to help the other people that are on the other levels of the stairway. So let me go ahead and bring someone over this morning. Someone who got a hand raised over here, so let me bring this first person over and see if that works, and if not, we'll bring someone else over. So the reason this will be something a little bit new is an interview with someone that might not be an established industry leader, someone that's not a guru, someone that's just like one of us, right? Just like you and me, just like Debbie in Arizona, or Tom out in California, or Minnesota Phil, or Linda over in Pennsylvania, right? Just normal people trying to do something different, taking a different set of actions. So this morning we have a young man by the name of Steve that decided to join us. I think he just did a little fun name in there, which was fun for everyone, I think. This morning we brought Clive raised his hand, so we brought Clive over. If you guys don't know Clive Jeffries, go look him up on Facebook. Go find him and go friend him. Start communicating with him. Clive is an amazing marketer. He's been taking massive action, and that's really what I noticed about Clive was, you see a guy out there, first of all, you notice a guy and you can see a lot of his pictures, he's got a big parrot or like a macaw on his shoulder, and when you see a guy with that picture, first of all, it's noticeable, but you see it over and over and over again, and there's things coming out all the time. It's the same with Phil Aguilar, it's the same with Kevin and Pauline Stone. You see they have content coming out all the time, and you start to notice it. And Clive definitely has started to make an impression And so let's first of all, let's say good morning and welcome to Clive. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome. So Clive, let's since you're not a guru, since you haven't been doing this for 27 years, and since you're not a, you're not making $1 million a day or $100,000 a minute or anything crazy, you're just a regular guy. Tell us just briefly. We have about 15-20 minutes here. Tell us briefly, Clive, how did you get into the home-based business / internet, working on the internet, and how long have you been doing it, and what were you doing before?
Okay, well, I'm really a novice. I only started in January getting into home business. Prior to that, I had a printing company that I started back in 1990 and ran it until I sold it in May last year. When I moved, from New Zealand to Florida in November. And then since in January, I was introduced to internet marketing, and there's something I was just looking for something completely different. I was sick of what I was doing, and and I just fell in love with it. And I had been doing that a few months, and then realized that I didn't know anyone because being in a new country, in a new town. So I was looking for ways to meet people, and came across MLSP. And through that, the challenge, and I think the big thing that resonated with me was your story about the Slurpees. And as I say, I'm totally new to this, but I knew that if I just did what I was told to do, then and not worry about it, but just take the steps, things would start coming together. And that's the approach I took. And I think your analogy really helped me because it was just so simple. And as I say, it's like a paint by numbers thing. So I just said to myself, well, if I do what they tell me to do, then the results will come accordingly. So that's the approach I took.
Awesome. Great approach. Sorry, I got distracted while you were talking. I was reading the chat. No, it's a fun industry to work in, where a guy like yourself can sell a business in New Zealand, move over here to the States, start a business, and all of a sudden now you have an opportunity to work with a lady that lives in Pennsylvania, some people in Arizona, a guy in Colorado that never did it before either, before about 1.5 years ago, was working for a chiropractor, right? And before that, I was a chef, and before that, that I got into that career. Before that, as a kid, right? People are like, "Wow, how old are you?" I'm getting old, right? As a kid, I worked for my grandfather and my father in construction, so I had a totally different background. Some new guy come in here, some other ladies, right? We got people from all over the country, and then you come in. You're not even from America. You come in, and you're like, "Hey, I could do this." So I think it's absolutely amazing, and it's just it's a great story. That part of your story, right? The actual story part is fun. It's exciting to think, wow, a guy could have a brick and mortar successful career in business overseas, sell the company, come over here and start all the way fresh.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyone can do it.
Absolutely. So would you say that your biggest challenge as you came over and as you started looking into this as an option and you started working online, would you say that biggest challenge for you was not having that quote unquote pool or warm market of people to talk to? Was that, or mentally, was that your biggest challenge?
I think so, yes. And it was also, it was a big step for me because as I used to classify myself as a complete technophobe. I just never did anything online. Computers really scared me, and all the stuff that I've been doing has been, I've definitely had to step out of my comfort zone, and because people, everyone that I do know knows that I know nothing about about internet marketing and that type of thing. So to go out and start making videos, it was just, I just had to say to myself, well, the only way to get good at this is to do it. So I just started doing them, and I can see the progress that I've made I've made probably a couple of dozen now, and each one gets a little easier and the words flow a little bit better, and so I'm making steady progress. And that's the thing that I've found too with doing everything a little bit each day. You build on it, and you sort of take for granted almost how far you've come. You look back, even though it's a couple of weeks, and it's like, wow, and imagine if I just keep doing a little bit each day, it just can't not work. And that's what the Slurpee story was. If you just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, follow the steps, and keep building on what you're doing, it's only going to grow. It just can't not grow. So I'm here for the long haul, and I'm going to make it happen. It's very determined.
Awesome. Well, I love that attitude. I love that spirit. That's the spirit that I had when I first started, and you hit the nail on the head with, if you just keep doing it over and over, it starts to grow, but you have to keep going.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is people go for a little bit and they get a little bit of results and quit, or they get no results and quit, or do nothing and quit, and they go and quit and quit and quit. And if you just go here and quit, and then you go and start another thing and quit, and then go and start another thing and quit, you never get any traction.
Yeah.
And it's so huge. Now I wanted to share a quick little story with you, Clive, and with everyone that ties right into that. That's really humorous. Is that when I started in this industry, when I quit my normal job and had made the move to come and work online, I was part of a home-based business, and I had found My Lead System Pro, this marketing platform that a bunch of us use, right, to learn how to build my business, to grow my warm market. Well, not too long ago, when I was talking to my wife, she said to me almost exactly what you said, but just in a different way. She told me, hey man, and I'm paraphrasing, right, because she doesn't talk like I talk, but basically she was like, hey man, do you realize that the thing that you've done over and over and over every single day that you've stayed with, of all the things that you're doing, the thing that's the biggest thing, the thing that you've contributed to the most, that you've had the most success in, that you've gotten the most feedback and the most results in, is the thing that you've been doing for the longest, that you've been involved with for the most time, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
And she noticed it from the outside. She's like, listen, dude, you're like, this is the thing that's working the best for you, and I can tell you why, because you've been doing it the whole time. The other thing, you only did it for like 6 months and then you stopped. You didn't stay with it. This other thing over here, you only did it for a month, dude. How are you gonna? So we sometimes, as the individuals that are going, because we see this and that, we don't notice it, but the other people do.
Yeah.
So the fact that you noticed it, like, hey, I know that if I do consistent action here, I'm going to get a result. So let me ask you another question, Clive. Once you were able to identify the fact that, okay, I need to meet more people, that's the challenge here, right?
Yeah.
I've got to meet more people so that I have now more people to be able to talk to, so that I have more people to talk to, I now have more opportunities to be able to present whatever opportunity is that I would like to present.
Right.
Once you were able to identify that and say, okay, I know that that's the challenge, and then B, you found the solution and said, okay, I need to keep on like for you mentioned that you were making videos and that you had to step through that fear and just keep making them. You had to keep learning these technical skills. Now that you've identified that, what would you say now currently? And just if you don't mind, right? If we have the group's permission to be a little bit open here, to be a little bit brutal with them and say, hey, listen, we're people too, right? Clive's just a regular guy, not totally regular because he's got like crazy exotic tropical birds flying all around him, but for the most part, he's a regular guy. And I'm sure that right now there's a challenge, or there's challenges that you still have, even though you've seemingly overcome this challenge and identified the problem, found the solution. What's the challenge right now?
I mean, it's just getting, like at the moment, I'm still just doing raw videos in one take, and so the next thing I'm working on is there's some editing and putting a lead in and a lead out, that type of thing. So, and then also I want to get more elaborate and have links on the actual videos, that type of thing. I've got the soft. I bought a course, one of Frank Bluesman's courses. So I've got to start working through that. But I wanted to just at least get things rolling before I didn't want to use that as an excuse to not having to put stuff out there. So that's my next challenge, is to start learning that, and then also just working through the actual marketing in through the MLSP site. I'm also, because I did have a Facebook account, so I've been, I need to get more. It's the technical side of things is the real challenge for me, as I say, because that's so new to me. I never, with my printing business, I employed graphic artists and I employed people to do it for me, and I didn't have to do it myself. Whereas now, working on my own, I actually have to know these skills, and that's why I've been, like, with my blog site, it's up and running now. I've got about a dozen articles on there too. So that I've had built by a VA in the Philippines. And then now I'm just working on getting my header done for that, and then I'll use that to conform across all my different platforms. But yeah, so I'm trying not to get bogged down with trying to learn minuscule stuff that I don't really need to know, and if I can source it, I will. But I still want to know the basics so that I can keep control of things. So that's really my challenge. Like, for example, I've set up those tabs on my Facebook fan page, and they're all working okay, but some of them are linking through to my AWeb and some of them aren't. And I haven't quite figured out what little glitch I've made somewhere along the line. So I go and have a crack at it, and then if I get too frustrated, I just move on to something else, and I'll go back and try another day. But so it's just little things like that. I just, rather than letting them burn me out and throw my hands up in the air, I just go. I try and spend like a concentrated half hour on trying to figure it out. But I haven't done it then. I'll go into something fresh and come back with a fresh mind, and hopefully I'll see what I've done and what point or step I've missed, because it has to be something simple, because some of them are working.
Absolutely. Well, I think right there, thank you so much, Clive. I think what you did right there by telling us that story was really drop a huge nugget. And if you guys didn't catch it, I want to go back and I want to point it out. Something that you just mentioned, Clive, is something that I do as well when I'm working, and it's kind of compartmentalizing things. And you mentioned saying, hey, okay, I'm going to spend a half an hour on this. I do the same thing. If I'm going to go and work on something, if I'm going to go learn something new, what I do is I shut everything else off, right? Maybe I'll put some music on or something like that, but the phone is off, the email's off, Skype's turned off, I'm not watching a video, I'm not on YouTube, I'm not emailing, and I spend that half hour, that 45 minutes, or whatever time that I've assigned, that I've allotted myself, and whatever I get finished in that time is what I get finished. And if I don't complete the task, then I reschedule. I just go right into my calendar and I add time in to finish that task. I even put notes in there if I'm frustrated, like you mentioned, like sometimes I can't get something fixed. So I'll even type in my calendar, like in the notes section, I'll type a note to myself to say, like, excuse my French here, but I'll say like what I'm pissed off about, right? Like, I can't figure this thing out. I can't figure out how to change X, Y, Z, so that I'll remember when I go back, right? And I'll put like, tried to do 1, 2, 3, so that I know what I've already tried, and then I move on. And the reason that that's so powerful is because then I don't get stuck wasting a whole day trying to fix something that it might be something silly. It might be something that I could have go out and maybe I asked Phil, or maybe I know that Kevin and Pauline are creating a blog, so I go ask them, hey, you guys doing WordPress too? Hey, have you done this Facebook tab thing? Hey, Karen, I saw your fan page is working. Did I do something wrong? Like, right then we can like get out of that mode, because otherwise sometimes I'll get so funneled, and I know that a lot of us have this, where we want to figure it out so bad that we just like kind of just obsess on that one thing, right?
Yeah, and then a couple of hours goes by.
Right, and then nothing gets done, right? And by the time that's all done, we're mentally tired, we're emotionally tired. By the time we're done, we're like, oh, I'm just going to fart around on Facebook for a while. Now it's 6 o'clock, it's time for dinner. Now I have to go on a webinar. Hey, you know what? Tomorrow I'll shoot a video. Tomorrow I'll figure out how to do that blog thing and get it done. So you brought up a great point. Being able to isolate that time and focus on specific activities is absolutely a great way to get through these techno challenges, right? These small things that we don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Before I end, the last nugget that I pulled out of what Clive said that I wanted to mention that if you guys didn't realize what he was talking about, or some of the stuff that he was saying, was not only did he take the time to isolate different activities, but you talked about doing it consistently, right, earlier, and that's, I think, the key. If you can be consistent and we can go through that, go through these challenges, we can really make forward progress. And the very last thing was realizing when it was time to just have someone else do it.
Yeah.
And what an important key, Clive, to understand the basic idea of what's going on, right? Like, I have the basic idea of what's going on with WordPress. I can get images back in there. I can write a blog and stuff. But when I want to make it fancy and soup it up and all that, I just pay someone.
Yeah.
Why? Because the $25 it cost me, or the $50 or whatever, is worth the day that it would spend me to break it and make it and do a bad image. And by the time I'm done, I'm frustrated and it doesn't look like what I wanted it to look like. When I learned what you did, which was some outsourcing, and I just spent the $20, just spent the $25 or $50, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And got it done, I was like, wow, look how much easier that was. So a bunch of different nuggets that you dropped for us this morning, Clive, and it's awesome to see that someone that's still getting started is picking up these ideas and running with them and using them and getting results, and that's what's exciting. So thank you so much for stepping up today and coming over. I know that you're also going to be one of our guest hosts here on Free Daily Coaching, so definitely looking forward to that. Thanks for coming over this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you to all the viewers. Thanks for giving Clive some support this morning. Go over and tell him thank you on the fan page, on his fan page. Go over and say thanks, Clive. Say good morning to him if you haven't friended him. And thank you all for joining us. Have an awesome day. Look around on Facebook if you need to get a hold of me, if you need to call or text or anything like that. For those that are doing the 100-day challenge with us, look for another live work session happening soon. It's probably going to be this evening. So I've got a few errands to run this morning, and then we'll be on live for a work session this evening. So thank you for joining us here at FreeDailyCoaching.com. We'll see you all tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a Friday free-for-all. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.